Potato.
Live from Brisbane, 7 News with Kendall Gilding.
Good afternoon. Our top stories this Thursday. A car smashes into a tram before a woman is held at gunpoint in a terrifying carjacking incident on the Gold Coast. The Ekka public holiday shifts to a Friday to entice workers to go away and spend on a long weekend. No fine for the Gold Coast whale rescue hero, but officials issue a stern warning instead. And America declares it stands with Australia against what it calls bullying from China. First at 4, 2 people have been arrested after an attempted carjacking on the Gold Coast. Amelia Adam, they smashed into a tram before holding a woman at gunpoint.
Good afternoon, Kendall. A man and a woman were in a stolen BMW travelling here along the Gold Coast Highway at Broadbeach when it crashed into a tram. It was then they allegedly tried to flee. It was then the man is accused of going up to a 27-year-old woman who was nearby trying to get into her car. He threatened her with a gel blaster and demanded her keys. It was her screams, though, that alerted a neighbour. He ran out and managed to tackle the man to the ground and make a citizen's arrest.
And as I ran up towards him, he hit me once. Fortunately, I didn't, pass out or anything. And I just jumped around his neck and brought him to the ground, and 2 other guys came and held him down with me until the cops came.
Both alleged offenders have been taken to the watch house. Paramedics assessed more than 20 people on scene, including the passengers on the tram and the victim of the attempted carjacking. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Just incredible. Thank you so much, Amelia. The People's Day Ekka public holiday has been moved from the traditional Wednesday in August to a Friday to entice workers to go away for a long weekend. As Joel Dry reports, is part of a plan to get people spending on tourism.
For just the 3rd time in 144 years, people will not flock here to the RNA showgrounds in August, with the Ekka cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But the People's Day public holiday is still on, and because the people have spoken, it has now been shifted to create a long weekend. Usually on the Wednesday, it's been shifted to Friday, the 14th of August. The idea being that by then, hopefully travel around the state will be relaxed and Queenslanders will take the opportunity to get away for 3 days, spend some money in the regions and help out those struggling tourism-dependent areas of the state.
If people go and support the regions, given that's what the RNA is all about, bringing country to the city, if the city goes to the country this year, then that's a fantastic outcome for the bush.
But travelling further afield and the option for interstate people to travel to Queensland is still a way off. There's been no softening from the state government on opening borders, despite repeated calls from southern leaders. Now, a Queensland senator has weighed into the debate.
I've put out a challenge to the Premier, open up the borders. Otherwise, I'm looking for a person in Queensland with standing to take her on in the High Court.
Still, Anastasia Palaszczuk maintains New South Wales and Victoria have to get on top of their infection issues. No such issue here. Again, there were no new COVID-19 cases in Queensland overnight.
Well, there are calls for an overhaul of when and where we can shop in Queensland. The National Retail Association is pushing for trading hours to be streamlined. Marlena Wapp explains.
There's a renewed push for a shake-up of retail trading hours across Queensland to help get more customers through the door. The National Retail Association says trading hours should be extended and there should be a consistent approach across the state. Being able to shop earlier and up until midnight is also being flagged, particularly in tourism hubs.
What we would be asking for is that Sunday trade is allowed across the state, no matter what region that you're in, so that everybody is treated exactly the same. And if you are in the regions, you're given, the opportunity to shop wherever you like, 7 days a week.
The government says it has no plans to end its moratorium on trading hours, and there's no evidence to suggest the current hours aren't working. In the hospitality industry, there are also calls for more flexibility. Many business owners want the fringe benefit tax to be scrapped to encourage the return of long lunches.
We would love to see our corporate clients return, having long lunches, being able to entertain both their clients and their staff without having to go back to the office and work out who had what for lunch or who had what for dinner, and having to deal with all the paperwork that currently the FBT requires them to do.
So they spend $100 here with me. That $100 then goes into paying my suppliers for their food, my staff in wages, and then they in turn spend that money back in the economy in spending and buying as well. So that $100 turns into $350, $400 in the economy.
And we'll hear more from business owners and how they're coping in 7 News at 6.
An accused killer has faced court in Pine Rivers, charged over the murder of his parents at their bed and breakfast in Joyner. Christopher Puglia was extradited from Sydney. Mac Lyon reports.
Christopher Puglia has had his matter mentioned for the first time here in Queensland after being extradited back from New South Wales overnight. The 31-year-old is charged with 2 counts of murder, accused of killing his parents, Franco and Loris Puglia, at their Joyner home. Court documents have confirmed police will now allege the couple, both 59, were murdered with a sledgehammer. Their son had his matter briefly mentioned here at Pine Rivers Court this morning, where prosecutors also revealed he will be charged with attempted arson, accused of setting a towel on fire inside the North Brisbane bed and breakfast.
I won't go into the facts and circumstances of it, but I understand there is another charge of attempted arson forthcoming later this morning. Given the nature of the allegations, it goes without saying that he's pretty overwhelmed.
Puglia had requested to be in court for the hearing, but because of COVID-19 restrictions, he was kept in the watch house. He's been remanded in custody for the next 2 months as a committal briefing is prepared. He will face court here again on July 13.
A crazed carjacker who forced a mother and her 2 young children out of their car at Chermside West has been jailed. Jess Mummy, how long will he spend behind bars?
Well, Kendall, Joshua Fairbrother could be released by the end of the year, less than 2 years after he brandished a sword and an axe at a mother, demanding she remove her children from their car. She bravely complied, but he sped off. Fairbrother was high on drugs when he went on the crime spree in March last year. He left multiple victims in his wake and stole multiple cars, including his neighbours. The 25-year-old's run from the law ended after a 16-kilometre police chase on the Gateway motorway. He was in the family's stolen car when stingers were deployed. Fairbrother was jailed for 5 years, but with time already spent behind bars, he could be eligible for parole in November. In sentencing, the judge said he is the perfect example of how ICE can destroy lives. Kendall?
Jess Mummy reporting live. Thank you. The Gold Coast boatie will not be fined after he saved a whale trapped in shark nets at Burleigh Heads on Tuesday. That's because he has no previous record of entering exclusion zones or interfering with shark control equipment. But the boatie has been served with 2 infringement notices, and a fisheries official has described the man's actions as reckless and dangerous. Money donated to help him pay a fine will now go to the Sea Shepherd Conservation Group. The Trump administration has again lauded Australia for its role in clinching a global coronavirus inquiry. The praise from the US Secretary of State was part of a verbal attack on China. Tim Lester reports from Canberra.
It likely made uncomfortable viewing for the senior government ministers here trying to limit trade damage with China. President Trump's foreign affairs chief hammering Beijing and praising Australia in the same breath.
The Chinese Communist Party chose to threaten Australia with economic retribution for a simple act of asking for an independent inquiry into the origins of the virus.
Mike Pompeo called China's contributions to fighting the pandemic paltry and accused Beijing of hostility to free nations.
We stand with Australia and the more than 120 nations now who have taken up the American call for an inquiry to the origins of the virus.
And his boss matched the attack on Twitter. President Trump arguing China's incompetence with coronavirus amounted to a mass worldwide killing. The US is less than 6 months from a presidential election, with the candidates accusing one another of being too close to Beijing. This as the Morrison government tries to limit trade retaliation from China. Already a new barley tariff and a ban on 4 meat processing plants could cost Australian farmers billions in coming years.
When you get the sorts of pronouncements that are coming out of Washington by Trump and Pompeo, quite clearly the rest of the world thinks it is irrational. We are being very seen, and they're seen as being very close to that, and the issue really is how we can distance ourselves to some degree from the sorts of pronouncements that are coming out of Washington.
This as the head of Treasury appeared before a Senate committee here today. Stephen Kennedy was asked whether the world is heading into a recession.
I think we've gone well past the word recession. I would say that the outlook is I'd say significantly gloomier than the one outlined by the IMF.
Though Mr Kennedy does say Australia is likely at or near its unemployment peak, and he still expects that to be around 10%.
Brazil has hit a new record high for new coronavirus cases as health officials there admit they're losing the battle against the virus. Workers in Sao Paulo are digging back-to-back burial plots so thousands of people can farewell loved ones. Nearly 20,000 new cases were reported in the past 24 hours, contributing to the largest single-day increase in infections globally since the outbreak began. Serious safety flaws have again been found with the controversial Paradise Dam near Bundaberg. Patrick Lyon joins us from Parliament. Pat, what's the government's response?
Kendall, the government says it's received federal approval to proceed from Monday with its plans to lower the dam wall to improve safety. This all came as the Commission of Inquiry report was tabled in Parliament. It found that it's heard a lot of evidence about issues with the dam's design and construction. One of its main findings was that the spillway apron was not wide enough. And there's also been uncertainty about how the dam would have coped in floods bigger than the 2011 and 2013 events.
The Commission made 8 recommendations for future projects, and let me be very clear here, the government accepts all 8 recommendations.
Again, reinforces our fears that the dam wall should not be torn down. Clearly, the recommendations throughout the report talks about more testing.
Now, also at Parliament, the Premier's delayed any chance of getting any voluntary assisted dying laws until after the election. A request for draft laws has instead been sent off to the Law Reform Commission, but they won't have to report back until March.
All right, thank you, Patrick. Britain is on track for its worst unemployment figures on record, and Australians are caught up in it. But some are making use of their extra time to help others. Hugh Whitfeld reports from London.
This is a car park originally built for the Olympic Games in London, but it's been turned into a food distribution hub, one of 33 across the British capital, where mainly volunteers are packing food parcels for some of the city's vulnerable citizens. Many of them can't leave home because they are considered vulnerable to catching coronavirus. Other people need economic and financial help, having lost their jobs. And among the volunteers helping out to pack the food are some Australians themselves who've been furloughed from work or placed onto Britain's version of the JobKeeper program.
I've been furloughed from my job, so I had a lot more time on my hands than I'm used to. And I love living in Hackney. It's really nice to be able to do something actually positive for the community. And it's not generally the most high socioeconomic area anyway, so to give them a service where it's protecting them, protecting the community, it's a pretty straightforward value that we're adding, I guess.
You can see that people need it. You see all the homelessness around, which is so different from Australia and New Zealand.
Thousands of food parcels are being packed across London every day, and the demand is only getting bigger as economic reality bites. Analysts expect that unemployment in Britain will be worse this year than during the depths of the financial crisis. It is not just a health emergency in this country, it is an economic one as well.
Well, let's get a check of the weather now. And Tony, it's all about rain today.
Good afternoon, Kendall. Yes, there'll be plenty of happy lawns, gardens, even crops right across the state today. Let's start in the southeast, though, where steady rain is streaming across the region this afternoon. Mostly light, a few totals less than 5 millimetres near the coast, though some parts of the Darling Downs have pushed over 10 millimetres so far today. And zooming out, it's all part of a huge cloud band stretching right across Queensland. It's brought widespread falls already, though it is clearing. Southern parts of the state are expected to dry up later this evening as cool and dry southwesterly winds push in behind this cloud band. Once again, the heaviest fall rainfalls have been up on the North Tropical Coast. Bingle Bay recorded a whopping 302 millimetres of rain up to 9 a.m. Pretty impressive. Kendall, you'll be a fan of this. We're about to cool down even further. I'll be back soon with tomorrow's forecast.
Great news. Thanks, Tony. See you then. Well, back to class and back to busy roads. Why school zones will be the focus of council officers next week. Queensland Ballet rethinks its entire season for 2020. And Arise Sir Tom, the fundraising war veteran, speaks of his latest honour.
In 7 News, on the wrong side of the road, 5 teens arrested on Brisbane's north side. The tinny whale rescuer handed his punishment. Queensland's new long weekend to boost tourism. Casual workers set for a massive back pay windfall. And the Queensland dog reunited after an outback adventure. 7 News at 6.
Getting my house renovated is like a golden ticket to the rest of your life. Oh, this is a house of our dreams.
Mum's Whole House Reveal. House Rules. Sunday at 7.
At IGA, you'll find great fresh specials this week, like Australian whole beef fillet, only $13.50 per kilo, and middle bacon rashers, just $9.95 per kilo. Great fresh specials at your local IGA.
Pocket watch. Nobody's got time for that.
This Saturday with Sportsbet at 3 tracks for races 1 to 6, finish second or third and get up to $50 back in bonus bets. That's 18 races with Sportsbet.
It's LTV for me.
It's LTV for me.
More and more people are saying it's LTV for me because the LTV T60 4x4 diesel is from just $27,490 drive away. And eligible businesses may be able to claim the government instant asset write-off. Hurry, offer ends May 31.
Pay less every day at The Good Guys. This Acer laptop only $1,299. This Motorola phone only $249. This Hisense soundbar only $195. Plus new Fitbit Charge 4. Pay less every day only at The Good Guys.
Hello Fresh. Delicious meals delivered to your door with pre-portioned, fresh ingredients. Now you can focus on what's really important. Order your box today. Hello Fresh. Inspiration delivered.
We remain dedicated to helping Australians. We've introduced a help program with a range of relief options to assist customers currently in need. Call us to find out how we can tailor help options for you.
With Belong, you get 10 gigs of mobile data for $25 a month. That's 10 gigs of family time, plus unlimited international calls and texts to selected countries for $5 extra. Together, we're different. Belong.
Having a home to feel safe in has never felt more important. And with home loan know-how from your local Rams home loan specialist, we can help you feel supported every step of the way. Rams, greater together.
Glorious beef eye fillets are now just $19.99 a kilo at Aldi. It's high-end steak without the high-end price. Oh, how dare you animals. Aldi, good, different.
This Saturday with Sportsbet, get the best payout across all 3 tabs with top-toed exotics. Nail a quinella, trifecta or even a quaddie and you'll get the biggest return. Top-toed exotics from Sportsbet.
Have you ever solved a murder? In June's Journey, you can. Refresh your mind with clever puzzles amidst the glamour of the 1920s. Are you up to the challenge? Download June's Journey now for free.
Harvey Norman has everything you need for your home. Our spacious stores are open with great deals on big brand Australian-made mattresses and ensembles. Huge savings on bedroom furniture, including beds, bedside tables and tall boys. Great bargains for the kids' bedrooms. Choose from space-saving bunks, beds, desks and more. Time to get cozy with amazing prices across a huge range of Manchester essentials. Mattresses, ensembles, bedroom furniture in Manchester. Everything you need for your home. Browse online and shop safely in store. Now at Harvey Norman.
Go!
Drivers are being reminded to take extra care at school zones next week as all students return to class. Brisbane City Council will be keeping an eye on some of the busiest areas. Laura Dimmick explains.
It's back to school from Monday, which means more people will be heading back to work, so there'll be more cars on the road. Brisbane City Council data shows weekday traffic has dropped by 32%. So if you're making the commute to work again after a long period staying at home, there's a warning to take care in school zones.
What we know from international research is as the speed increases, the risk of survival reduces rapidly. So once you're beyond 40 to 45 kilometres an hour, that survivability reduces to less than 50%.
Coronavirus and lockdown laws have had an impact on our driving habits. Data shows with fewer cars on the road, speeds have increased during peak periods. So high visibility cars will patrol 60 schools to remind drivers to slow down.
Our cars are very highly visible. They're intended so that people know that we're there and that people actively do the right thing so that we don't have to issue enforcement pins or fines.
We'll have more on this story, including which schools will have patrols, coming up in the news at 6.
Newly appointed Knight Sir Captain Tom Moore has spoken of his delight at being honoured for his fundraising work. The veteran, who walked 100 laps of his garden before his 100th birthday to raise money for the UK's health service, says he never imagined something like this would happen.
Never ever in 100 years did I anticipate that the honour, this great honour, would come to me.
He managed to raise more than $60 million for the NHS. Queensland Ballet will move its entire 2020 season to next year. The company made the announcement in light of the federal government's roadmap to easing COVID restrictions and the wishes of patrons. The organisation is finalising dates with venues, and tickets from this year will be exchanged for 2021 dates, with all patrons to be advised by the end of September. Refunds will also be offered. With revenues forecast to fall by 43%, Queensland Ballet is offering an extensive collection of paid online classes for people of all abilities. Devastating floods in America's Midwest. A catastrophic dam failure forces thousands of people to flee. The first astronauts about to be launched from Elon Musk's SpaceX mission, and new flight paths in the sky over Brisbane.
For every new picture, for every new story,
the travel bans continue to be crippling for tourism.
there are questions that must be answered.
At the end of all this, what do you think Queensland is going to be like?
The attendance rate is expected to be just below the average.
Every night, 7 News brings you the total picture.
Commuters can expect no staggered seating.
The full story, the answers you need. Turn to 7 News at 6 o'clock.
Slashing your grocery bill. The 6 top tips for cutting costs. Make the most of what you buy on Sunrise tomorrow.
We're ready to get back out there again. As we do, it's up to all of us to stay COVID safe. Anytime you leave your house, wash your hands regularly. Keep physical distance where you can. Have the COVID Safe app on your phone. And importantly, if you're feeling sick, you need to stay at home and get tested. Together, we can reduce the risk of a second wave. Stay COVID-free and do the 3.
Authorised by the Chief Medical Officer, Canberra.
We're coming to you live from the scene. Tell us what you've got there. Toilet paper?
Nah, just dinner stuff.
Right. You must have paid an unprecedented price for that during these unprecedented times.
Nah, they're from Aldi. Prices are always low.
Let's just go.
Whatever happens, our low prices are here to stay. Aldi. Good. Different.
Alright Australia, so you need more energy and a better night's sleep. Meet the revolutionary Sleeping Duck mattress taking Australia by storm. It's the next generation mattress reimagined by aerospace engineers to give you the best energy, health and sleep benefits possible, even making history by becoming the first mattress ever to win Choice's Best Overall Mattress 2 years in a row. It comes manufacturer direct, free of markups. And that means you can get incredible quality with incredible value. That's Sleeping Duck, one giant leap for your sleep.
Bye. Shut up and take my money.
few days ago, James had neck pain. Then he discovered Voltaren Emel Gel. It relieves pain 2 times faster and reduces inflammation. Now with a no-mess applicator.
It's LDV for me.
It's LDV for me.
More and more people are saying it's LDV for me, because the LDV T60 4x4 diesel is from just $27,490 drive away. And eligible businesses may be able to claim the government instant asset write-off. Hurry, offer ends May 31.
Purchase any commercial or industrial spit water pressure cleaner and get a whopping 61% off a range of accessories till June 30. Pressure clean to the max, claim the tax. Call 1-800-SPIT-WATER now.
Spit-water cleans, that's what it does.
Hello Fresh. Delicious meals delivered to your door with pre-portioned fresh ingredients. Now you can focus on what's really important. Order your box today. Hello Fresh. Inspiration delivered.
With Belong, you get 10 gigs of mobile data for $25 a month. That's 10 gigs of family time, plus unlimited international calls and texts to selected countries for $5 extra. Together, we're different. Belong.
Energy prices are falling, but their power play is costing you more. What you can do now to get the cheapest price. 7 News at 6.
New flight paths are being used today in the countdown to Brisbane Airport's second runway opening. 70% of the new flight paths came into operation today, even though the second runway won't accept its first flight until July 12. Some suburbs will experience air traffic overhead until the second tarmac is operating. They include parts of the southwest and inner east of the city. Catastrophic dam failures have caused mass flooding in America's Midwest, with thousands forced to evacuate their homes. Properties are now underwater, with flood levels continuing to rise.
A rush to higher ground as gushing water swallowed entire neighbourhoods.
The dam has failed. 100% failure. Evacuate.
It's crazy. Just surreal.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Twin dam failures in central Michigan triggering catastrophic flooding, destroying homes and businesses.
I never thought in my life that the dam would break.
This is real bad. I don't know how long it's going to take for the water to go down now.
The water reaching rooftops and record highs. The river here cresting at more than 10 metres. Water seeping into transformers, tossing trailers over. Stark images showing the human toll.
It's devastating. We know that this water is incredibly damaging.
A dual crisis crippling the state.
It's hard to believe that we're in the midst of a 100-year crisis, a global pandemic. And that we're also dealing with a flooding event that looks to be the worst in 500 years.
Forecasters warning it may not be over, with more rain expected by the end of the week. In the United States, Ashley Mullaney, 7 News.
A powerful cyclone has made landfall in India and Bangladesh, killing more than a dozen people and causing widespread damage. Trees have been uprooted and homes destroyed by Cyclone Amphan, the first super cyclone to form in the Bay of Bengal since 1999. Nearly 3 million people, most from Bangladesh, were evacuated before the intense system hit. But coronavirus restrictions have been hampering emergency and relief efforts. It's the biggest spaceflight event of the decade. These are the first astronauts set to be launched into orbit as part of Elon Musk's SpaceX program.
Doug and I are really excited to be here. This is an awesome time to be an astronaut with a new spacecraft to get a chance to go and fly.
They'll blast off next week, bound for the International Space Station, the first manned US mission into space since 2011. We'll farewell our Gold Coast viewers now. You're off to the chase. Rod and Amanda have your local news at 5:30. For the rest of Queensland, the region's most affected by the economic impact of coronavirus, what it means for the property market. A Brisbane man's bizarre campaign to get dangerous drivers to slow down, and the case for giving casual workers sick leave and other entitlements.
In 7 News, on the wrong side of the road, 5 teens arrested on Brisbane's north side. The tinny whale rescuer handed his punishment. Queensland's new long weekend to boost tourism. Casual workers set for a massive back.
Make sure you're ready to answer. The BMW 118i from 49,900 drive away. Joy is coming.
Prepare for your greatest...
That reckless driving kills. Algona Street in Holland Park West seems quiet now, but disgruntled homeowner Alan Parker says when university students return to Griffith's Mount Gravatt campus, students speed through its streets as a shortcut, regularly risking the lives of his family and friends.
My point of view is, listen, I'm a father, I've got kids, you know. They don't even play in the front yard anymore because I worry that someone's going to come around the corner too fast one way and end up in my front yard.
He's installed cameras outside his home and used signs to try and get people to slow down. It hasn't worked, but he's hoping this does.
I've had enough. I've just had enough. That's why I just thought, well, bugger it, stick the coffin out, see what's going to happen.
Council doesn't approve.
Look, we never encourage residents to take matters into their own hands.
His neighbours aren't so sure either.
I think it's creepy. I don't know why it's there, and I don't like it.
I think it's creepy, and especially with what's going on in the world today, it's just wrong.
A council survey from 4 years ago found 370 cars use this road every day, travelling on average at 35 kilometres an hour in the 50 zone.
Pat Welsh has today's sport next. Also, the struggling entertainment industry trials a new concept for the times, drive-in concerts, and a tale of survival against the odds. A lost dog reunited with owners after a marathon trek.
There's a story here we don't know yet.
Unravel a new trail of clues every Wednesday and Thursday.
What do you want them to see?
7 Flicks brings together the most brilliant minds.
Hey, clock's ticking. Let's get out there.
Each with a very unique way.
What do you know?
All sorts of things.
Of cracking cases.
You're not going to want to miss this.
The world's greatest crime dramas. Wednesday and Thursday on 7 Flicks.
If you're struggling to balance work, life and family, you need to shake it up. Ensure Health Shakes help you get the nutrition you need to help your body build strength from within, with a prebiotic and antioxidants to support a healthy immune system, calcium and protein for muscle and bone health. Put more balance in your work-life balance. Shake it up with Ensure.
Tough, refined, exceptional value. A BT50 stands out. At the Mazda Standout End of Financial Year event, get a 2019 plate Mazda BT50 XT 4x4 dual cab with ABN bonus from $37,490 drive away.
Every 14 minutes, someone finds love on eHarmony. Now with more matches, a new compatibility quiz with deeper insights and enhanced messaging, the new eHarmony experience is better than ever. Start something real with someone right.
Eggs. They're a great source of vitamin D, protein and omega-3s. In fact, eggs have 13 different vitamins and nutrients, and one egg provides just 310 kilojoules. So, get cracking, Australia.
Rugby league hard man Corey Parker has won it all. He doesn't do gags, he doesn't do pranks, but he does play Supercoach. Register today at supercoach.com.au.
I always thought it was me, that I was the reason diets didn't work. I thought I had no willpower.
Noom helped me see it's all about what's happening in my head.
It's not just black and white, don't eat this, don't eat that. There's some serious psychology behind it.
It's not just about weight loss, it's about a lifestyle change.
I've lost 1.5 stone in 4 months, and I'm pretty proud of myself.
I'm down 10 kilos, and I feel like I'm finally in control. Change your thinking, change your habits, change your life with Noom.
Introducing BP Rewards. Earn BP points to spend in store.
BP Rewards.
Or get dollars off fuel.
BP Rewards.
Or choose to earn Qantas points.
Totally BP Rewards.
Start earning today. Your rewards, your way.
It doesn't matter where you're going, if you enjoy getting there. The BMW X1 S-Drive 18i from $49,900 drive away. Joy is coming.
Big money.
Oh, boy.
Means big risks.
It's a challenge, and I'm up for the challenges.
New The Chase. Weekdays on 7.
Energy prices are falling, but their power play is costing you more. What you can do now To get the cheapest price, 7 News at 6.
The coronavirus pandemic put a stop to live music and hit the entertainment industry hard. But now singers and bands have come up with a new way to bring back concerts. Miley Hogan has more.
Good afternoon. Well, this is the plan to save live music, drive-in concerts. The first one was held today in a car park in Sydney's Inner West. The headline act was Casey Donovan.
And now I beg to see your dances one more time. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me.
There are rules to keep everyone safe. You can't leave your car unless you need to use the bathroom. There is a limit of 2 adults per vehicle unless you are all from the same household.
It's a fantastic idea, and they should continue doing it while, you know, we're in lockdown.
It's fun. You know, 12 o'clock on a Thursday. Perfect.
The live music industry has been struggling to survive with the coronavirus restrictions, and this is the plan to help get it back up and running.
Gig is a gig, and I absolutely love it, and I'm so thankful that I got to get out today and have fun and entertain, because it is a craving that you just, yeah, it was nice to taste it today. So fingers crossed I'll be back in another car park near you.
Why don't you come on over
Drive-in Entertainment Australia is working with local councils to set up more locations for concerts like this. If it is successful in New South Wales, it's likely to expand across the country.
Let's get a quick check of today's sport now with Paddy.
Kendall, thank you. Hello, everyone. Breaking news first up. Broncos veteran Andrew McCulloch has been released to the Newcastle Knights, effective immediately. The veteran hooker has been contracted to Brisbane since he was 13 years old and played 260 games for the club. McCulloch's departure leaves Brisbane skinny for an arduous season. The NRL today releasing the draw for the remaining 18 rounds, playing without a bye.
There are no easy games. Anyone can beat anyone on any given day. And you know what? I think this year will mean more than other years, given all that we've been through to get the game back up and running. 13 of the Broncos' 18 games are on Thursday or Friday nights. Shane Van Gisbergen is the new leader of the Supercars E-Series, racing on virtual versions of the NASCAR circuits in Charlotte and Daytona. The racing was fast and furious, as we've come to expect.
There's contact, monstrous contact. Van Gisbergen trips over, Waters trips over.
It was a tough night out for previous championship leader Scott McLaughlin. Van Gisbergen won all 3 races to open up a 64-point lead at the top of the standings with 3 rounds to go. And he was a wizard with the willow in hand, and it seems cricket legend Sachin Tendulkar is pretty handy with a pair of scissors too. Most hair salons throughout India are closed due to lockdown, so Tendulkar took it upon himself to give son Arjun a trim. The little master remains immensely popular. His social media hairstyling video has been viewed nearly 4 million times in less than 24 hours. Something akin to yours, Kendall.
Pretty impressive, and it's actually a bit mesmerising. I'm very impressed. Thanks, Pat. A Western Queensland family has been reunited with a beloved pet 2 months after the Border Collie went missing. The pooch had trouble following her nose, travelling nearly 300 kilometres looking for her owners. Lauren Reddy-X reports.
The Frizzell family still can't believe they have their 4-legged friend back. Chips the Border Collie has been on quite the adventure since going walkabout from Toowoomba in March. Rolly Frizzell was visiting his partner's home in Toowoomba with Chips when she went missing. He searched all over for a week before returning home to Roma.
We got to the point of 2 months, we're thinking, she's either gone to a nice home or something's happened to her.
While the family began to fear the worst, Chips was wandering 270 kilometres through bushland. She finally turned up in Black Butte, hungry and scared.
But people fed her and made a little bed up for her. Apparently a motel made her a little bed up under the awning, and people in the caravan park had her for about 2 or 3 weeks.
The pooch was then taken in by a woman at the Kingaroy RSPCA who discovered she was microchipped, and that tiny chip was her ticket home.
Microchipping is super important so that we can get the animal back to you, but also to make sure your details are always current.
The family is obviously happy to have Chips back and hopes she doesn't go wandering anytime soon.
Tony Orden's next with a look at the weather. Also, fancy a scone. The royal recipe revealed.
In 7 News, on the wrong side of the road, 5 teens arrested on Brisbane's north side.
The tinny whale rescuer handed his punishment. Queensland's new long weekend to boost tourism. Casual workers set for a massive back pay windfall. And the Queensland dog reunited after an outback adventure. 7 News at 6.
Hello, Daniel. I have been watching you.
Yeah, I played footy for Gold Coast. Oh no, bad ball. I got sacked. Was lucky enough to get picked up by Carlton. They sacked me again.
They may have sacked you, but I've chosen you. I got a VV. Welcome to my brand new house. You'll need something to make you stand out.
My nose.
Humour will only get you so far.
Damn it.
Have you got what it takes to be the last one in my house?
Didn't really believe I could play footy, but I believe I can win this.
I am Big Brother. Who wins? You decide.
Have you ever solved a murder? In June's Journey, you can. Refresh your mind with clever puzzles amidst the glamour of the 1920s. Are you up to the challenge? Download June's Journey now for free.
With McDelivery, Macca's comes to you. With contact-free options, you can enjoy all your Macca's favourites delivered to you via the Uber Eats app and Deliveroo.
Sunsuper's stress-tested investment strategies have delivered returns that have beaten the industry average over 3, 5, 7 and 10 years. Join our 1.4 million members and feel the strength of Sunsuper.
At Pacific Harbour, Bribie Island, the beach is part of your life. Secure your large home site from under $290,000. Just 50 minutes from Brisbane Airport by bridge. Visit bribiebeach.com.au.
It's mayhem! Click Frenzy is on right now! Massive savings, the biggest brands, only for 2 days. Grab a bargain and let's regrow. Clickfrenzy.com.au. Sale ends midnight Thursday.
Some people might see superannuation funds as a sea of sameness. But some super members belong to a fund that's dedicated only to them. Sunsuper's stress-tested investment strategies have delivered strong long-term returns that have beaten the industry average over 3, 5, 7 and 10 years. Join our 1.4 million members and feel the strength of Sunsuper.
HelloFresh. Delicious meals delivered to your door with pre-portioned, fresh ingredients. Now you can focus on what's really important. Order your box today. HelloFresh. Inspiration delivered.
Pork! Pork! When you reach for pork roast, who knows where you'll end up? Get some pork on your fork.
What are you here for? Win a lot of cash. Hold hard.
It's go big or go home.
Forget it. Insult.
But big money.
Oh, boy.
Means big risks.
It's a challenge, and I'm up for the challenges.
Belting him out.
New The Chase, coming up next on 7.
This weather report brought to you by Bridgestone Select for tyres and car servicing.
Good afternoon, you're watching 7 News. Let's have a look at the weather now, and we've had steady soaking rain across much of Queensland today. Checking the latest radar in the south, we've already seen plenty of spots record over 10 millimetres today. At the moment, a little band of heavier rain north of Brisbane and clearing away towards the coast. Looking at the bigger picture, we have a tropical low way out in the Indian Ocean. It's feeding moisture thousands of kilometres behind my head here across the tropics and into Queensland. Into tomorrow, we'll see an east coast low developing off the New South Wales coast with dry and cold air wrapping around that system into southern parts of Queensland. High cloud and a bit more rain remaining in the northern parts of Queensland. Around the nation, rain on the cards for Sydney and a chilly top of just 11 degrees in Canberra. Back to northern Queensland, remaining cloudy with some of that patchy rain picking up late, a top of 21 degrees in Mackay. Heading south, well, some early light rain for the Capricornia and Wide Bay coasts. That should clear by late morning. Then we're looking at dry and cool conditions in the south with a bit of high cloud around, a top of just 13 degrees in Toowoomba. Across the southeast, that rain clears away tonight, then the odd sunny break, but still plenty of high cloud around tomorrow. Now watch out for those cold westerly winds, gusts up around 40 k's an hour. Brisbane tracking for a top of 20 degrees. That will feel more like the low to mid-teens if you are stuck in the wind and the shade. That's not it for the cold. On Saturday, those cold winds will combine with another rain band to bring potentially widespread cold temperature records along the Queensland coast. Have a look at this. Rockhampton tracking for a top of just 13 degrees. I think that'll come as a shock to many locals. Kendall, I'll have all the latest coming up at 6.
Pulling out the winter woolies. Thanks, Tony. Well, Max is here for a look at tonight's news. Max, terror on Brisbane's north side.
Kendall, 5 teens have been arrested after driving on the wrong side of the road. Innocent people were caught up in this reckless spree. They filmed the lot as they taunted law enforcement. The full video is tonight at 6.
Also, bill shock. It's going to be bad.
Unfortunately, yes, with many people working from home and energy usage to spike during winter, power bills will soar. So tonight, why 1 in 4 customers is paying way too much and what you can do to fix it.
Also, we've been checking on the COVID recovery across the southeast. Where tonight?
Well, every community is doing it differently, aren't they? This evening we focus in on Logan, seeing how resilient suburbs are drawing on their imagination and doing whatever they can to keep their businesses afloat.
And the good news, it's almost footy time.
Yes, you can feel it, can't you? Tonight, an exclusive look inside Suncorp Stadium to see what they're doing to ensure a safe return of the game. Plus, of course, much more coming up at 6.
Thanks, Max. We'll see you then. Now to a police rescue of a different kind. A patrol car in Moscow stepping in to shield a family of ducks as they attempted to cross a busy road. A passerby helped stop traffic, making sure the 2 adults and 12 ducklings made it safely to the other side. Well, let's see what's happening online. Aussie C is also making her directorial debut soon. The movie also stars Kate Hudson. Tom Hanks has been recognised at the annual Webby Awards for his positive social media impact on the internet. Acceptance speeches were limited to just 5 words, so Tom played a prank.
Have I pushed the right?
Hanks was treated for coronavirus on the Gold Coast. And have you ever wanted to make scones good enough for the Queen? Wait no more. Pastry chefs for the royal family have released a video on Instagram of how to make the exact scones served at Her Majesty's garden parties at Buckingham Palace every summer. Sadly, this year's garden party has been postponed until 2021. And to see more, make sure you give our pages a like on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. That's our afternoon news for this Thursday. Stay with us now for The Chase, then 7 News at 6. I'm Kendall Gilding. I'll see you tomorrow.
Getting my house renovated